Hi, I'm Emily Rusch, the State Director of CALPIRG. And as I look back on 2010 and forward to 2011, I have to say I'm optimistic about our state's future. Of course, we face significant challenges. California has one of the highest unemployment rates in the country, and we have the largest state budget deficit. And powerful interests like the oil companies and the insurance industry use the weak economy to argue for weaker consumer and public health protections. So why do I remain optimistic about our state's future? Because I've seen what we've been able to accomplish against long odds and huge obstacles in 2010. Just last month, after the oil industry put Prop 23 on the ballot to try and repeal California's landmark global warming law, we soundly defeated it. They had what seemed at the time like a winning strategy to try and play on people's fears about the weak economy. But we knew we couldn't let them scare California voters into making a bad decision. So we put together an organizing campaign that focused on the constituency that was most likely to be with us, but least likely to turn out to the polls in a midterm election, young voters. Our campaign fanned out across 40 college campuses, ultimately talking to 400,000 students about Prop 23 and convincing 160,000 of them to pledge to turn out and vote no. And on November 2nd, 61% of California voters voted to defeat the measure. Earlier this year, Wall Street bankers, the same ones that we taxpayers bailed out in 2008, were fighting tooth and nail against proposed financial reforms. They had an army of lobbyists who were camped out in the halls of Congress to try and block or weaken regulations. But thanks to the support of our members, we were there too, with seasoned advocates like Ed Merzwinski, who were able to provide expert testimony in hearing rooms and keep the debate focused on the needs of Main Street, not Wall Street. And now, we finally have rules protecting consumers from the risks taken by big banks. And back in March, when President Obama signed the healthcare reform bill into law, that was the end of a long-fought battle. I remember, as I'm sure you do, the claims about death panels, the arguments made by the health insurance industry that healthcare reform would be bad for the economy and for business. And when Anthem Blue Cross tried to slam California ratepayers with double-digit rate hikes last February. But I also remember how common decency finally won the day in many of those town hall hearings because of the volunteers that turned out, and how we brought more than 100 small business owners to Washington, D.C. to counter bogus economic arguments. Now, certainly we weren't the only ones who were working on these issues. We weren't the only group that helped make a difference. But I am proud that because of our members, we were able to do our part. And I am confident that we will be able to continue working on issues like this and continue to make an impact with you by our side. So I hope you will make a year-end contribution today. Thank you and happy holidays.